up with Kane Park for the Sip at Kane, Cleveland Heights' first wine and beer festival, September 23rd from 2 to 8.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Pull-Up Experience. And we have another great episode for y'all tonight. We have Mr. Chef Eric Rodgers with tonight, and it's going to be a great one. Creator of the Black Box Fix and so many great endeavors. We're going to hear about his incredible story in entrepreneurship. And we got Ms. Brittany with us tonight. You already know who I am, you know what I'm saying? But we thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you.
So we want to talk. We like to start from the beginning. So
yeah,
rep your hood. Where were you from in Cleveland?
Born and raised in Cleveland, East Cleveland.
East Cleveland, East
Cleveland.
Cardinal?
No, Hollywood.
Okay.
Woodhouse.
Okay.
But my grandparents stayed in East Cleveland, so that's where I grew up for the most part. Parents working. You got to go to Granny house.
Right.
So I was in the kitchen at a young age because she had a restaurant. So I was always in the kitchen watching her and learning. That's where my passion really grew. Watching Granny picking greens, snapping peas, all that stuff. So I'm old school.
No, I was gonna ask you was it something that you gradually got into with the cooking, or was it something that you was just born with it? Like you was just like in the kitchen.
Well, I was always that kind of kid that was always in the kitchen, watching my mother. I was the hungry, chubby, fat kid, When is dinner going to be made? When is you need some help with that? And then that kind of pushed me towards my grandparents. They were entrepreneurs, and they really started the Renaissance back in the Huff area. Where they were. My grandfather was in real estate. He was one of the first people to build a house in the Huff area with Fannie Lewis.
Yeah, that's
up. Yeah, so, and they own a restaurant in East Cleveland called Parkway Carryout, 123rd and Omen. Rough little neighborhood, but my grandparents were like those people where you come and they outside sweeping and doing things, and they always taught you how to do things the right way, the God way. And I worked in food service with them from 8 to 17, so I really had years of service even before I knew this was going to become my passion. And that's another story in itself.
Hold on, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, for sure.
Because it sounds like it's been in your blood for a long time. You come a long line.
Yeah,
and that's dope right there, man.
Definitely.
So let's talk about that. Because obviously you work in their restaurant or whatnot. So you got school, I guess you graduated. After graduation, did you say, okay, I want to pursue even more, or did you not deviate from that, or did you go another path and then come back to it?
Well, I played sports. I got a lot of offers, but school and just the aspect of grades and all that never was my thing. You know what I mean? I love playing sports. I was great at it, but the offers that I got were like D2, D3.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to leave. I wasn't ready to leave. I was mama's boy home, things like that. So I just went into work, and I was blessed enough to get in at age 19 at University Hospitals of Cleveland. Started off as a file clerk, worked my way up. For 14 years, I ended up running their community hospital division. I had like 25, 30 employees under me.
Oh, wow.
But in the middle of that journey, I had a catering company I started called Nevea. Nevea spelled heaven, spelled backwards, yeah. So I would cook for clients. I would do luncheons at university hospitals, and I would just always be engaged with food. Started off cocktail. I don't know if y'all remember Cocktail Lounge. I used to do stuff for Paco all the time, and then the other bars would say, "Hey, I need you to cook this. I need you to do that." So that kind of grew, and then once I started building a following, I said, "You know what? I may have the chops to do this." So after 14 years, I told my wife, I said, I'm about to take a leap of faith and do that. She supported it. My parents and everybody else called me crazy because I had a great job. Back then, $65,000 was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, so it was just like, you got insurance, you got all these things to do. I said, watch, you'll see. And if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove you wrong. So I took my leap of faith in 02. But I was in real estate. I used to do houses and remodel and rent and all of that.
So jump on trades.
I did. I've done every job you could think of, for real. But I sold one house that I had in my portfolio for $10K, and that $10K from 02 to 03, I lived off that. I lived off that, supported my family, and made sure we had enough saved up so we wouldn't struggle while I was going through learning how to become a chef. So. And
I'm sorry, because I want to make sure our audience understand what you just said with that. You know what I'm saying? You made sure you had some in reserve. You had some saved up, and then you pursued your dream. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just jump off the porch.
I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that want to get into a field and they don't have a business plan.
Right.
You got to have a business plan. You have to have liquid cash to start that business plan because you're going to hit a struggle point. So and I literally. From 02 to 03, that those funds was depleting. The jobs, when you're doing catering outside of your house, it's just you get a gig, you don't get a gig. Some months you don't, some months you make it. But I caught a break when I found a location in South Euclid, and I named that first restaurant Nevaeh. And kind of things just blew up from there. You know what I mean? That was when God really told me, you have a gift, I'm going to bless it. And then I was doing food that Cleveland had never seen before. So when I created that concept, it really just took, and that was right when social media started. So it was just like a storm. Because when I used to put my food out there, people would be like, "Is that shrimp on a burger? Is that shrimp on a Philly?" It had never been done before.
Never been done. No, I believe it.
You see that everywhere now. So I kind of love my journey. I kind of love, what I have brought to the Cleveland food scene because. A lot of the stuff we do even today is mimicked. So I don't take it as a shot or anything. I just take it as I inspire other people to say, you know what, I'm going to step outside the box and I'm going to do something like that.
That's good. You're a trailblazer. Okay, so we got Nevaeh, and then I want to talk about how when you went on the Food Network and how things went from there or whatnot. Because I know that was a pivotal point in your overall journey.
Yeah, that was like in my second year at Nevaeh. I was becoming very popular. Restaurant was doing great, but really was, when you're an entrepreneur, you got to understand there's no such thing as an off day. You're gonna work every day, and me being a businessman, learning the business, I learned that at university hospitals. Managing dollars, managing percentages. Our AR needed to be 80%, 0 to 90. So I applied those same morals in my business plan to restaurants. So I studied the industry. Your food costs, your labor costs, and all of these different factors that have to be watched so stringent because there are not a lot of margins in restaurants. So I knew it going in, but in order to manipulate those costs, you got to put in work. So the blessing of why I'm successful is I'm a businessman, I run the business, but I'm also the chef. So I can always step in and work. I can always manage. I can always do every hat that's in the restaurant. The only thing I don't do is accounting, but I'm blessed to have a best friend that's an accountant. So, the Food Network, noticed what I was doing on social media, the buzz in Cleveland. They said, hey, we want to get you out to this new show, Guy Fieri's Guy's Grocery Games. So I did that show, and I placed third. But what my mindset was going into it wasn't to win. It was just about the exposure. I did Fox 8, Channel 19, all of those, local markets. But when you get to the big stage for all chefs is Food Network. And then once I was able to do that, it really just, boom, blew up. But it also set off a new thing in my life because I was burnt out. I came back, and then we were more busy, and I was working more. So, and our daughter had just was born, and her birthday was yesterday, Bella. She just turned 9, so that was 9 years ago. We closed the Bella. It was just too much. Our lease was up, and I was like, you know what, I need a break. So I went into cooking for ball players. I did people in LeBron's clique, NFL, NBA, baseball. It was great money, but my passion was always coming back to a restaurant. So one day, one of my friends hit me up and was like, man, you got to check this spot out on Lee Road. Man, I don't want no restaurant. So I went and looked in the window, and I was like, and I looked at the neighborhood. And anytime I I do a business plan thing. I market research. I look at the area. I look at the vibe in the area. I go walking down the streets, and Lee, at the time, Cedar Lee was like up and coming vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, this would really blow up, and I like this vibe. It wasn't. I knew our people could come and enjoy it, but I would attract new customers.
Yeah.
You know, all ethnics. I don't cook African soul food. You know what I mean? I cook food that anybody can enjoy and like. So when I opened Black Box Fix Up, everything exploded. You know? And that was just a blessing because I learned from my past experience at Nevaeh, and they told me I can't do everything. Right. I have to train other people to, you know, get out of entrepreneurship what I got. Right. You know, but I have to work smarter as well. So when I did that, you know, I just put out, everybody followed me, and all young aspiring chefs would always hit me up because they saw my journey. Yeah. I mean, I came from the same place they came from, inner city and all that, and I never went to school for what I'm doing. So a lot of young up-and-coming chefs hit me up, and I recruited and created like a dream team of young chefs. Okay. So I came there one time. We had probably some of the best collective talent of chefs that I was nurturing and doing at the time. And everybody's flourishing in their own little thing right now. That's good. And I've done that. I've mentored over 100 cooks and chefs in the city, just giving back. And along that process of opening Black Box Fix, I met Larice. And I was telling you before we got on, I'm introvert. You know what I mean? You know, you'll see me out. I'm very approachable, but I'm that guy that's going to walk right past you and act like I don't even exist. And it's hard because of who I am, but it is what it is. So Larissa, I was at the Word Church. He was at the Word Church, and he stepped up and said, you know, let's talk one day. And you know, I'm that guy like, I don't trust you. Everybody want to partner with me. They see I'm doing something. I could do this myself. Right. It was just something about his aura, and we teamed up, you know, and we've done a lot in our community, and outside of this community, opened numerous restaurant concepts. Some worked, some didn't. But like my mother always taught me, nothing beats a failure but a try. I'm sorry. So I definitely am that one that tried. We have done over 20 different locations and concepts around Cleveland and Columbus. And again, you know, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still finding out what my niche is in this. So it's a continuing journey to continue to do what we do as entrepreneurs in this game, for sure.
Absolutely. And we want to give you flowers, man, because once again, very inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, when I seen your story, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you come from the same place we come from, and you went for what you want. You went for what you were good at, and you had flourished in it. You know what I'm saying? So it inspired me. Absolutely. So I appreciate you coming on and being able to say your story. So I have a question for you. When it comes to entrepreneurship, what do you, in your journey, what do you feel like was the biggest lesson that you learned that you still apply to this day?
Biggest lesson I learned is, like I said, knowing that I can't do it all. I'm a Mr. Do It All. Like I like to wear a lot of hats. I like to try to, you know, get the most out of my abilities, but just really stepping back and don't be afraid to ask for help. You know what I mean? No, never feel like you can't gain more knowledge or you can't pick up and study your craft. You know, to be at the top or be the best, you have to study and take game from everybody. Take game from the industry. Make sure you educate yourself on the ups and downs because they're going to come. You know, when the pandemic came, that kind of flipped everybody around. You know what I mean? Especially restaurants. And immediately, one of my great gifts is I know how to pivot. I pivot a lot. If you don't pivot, you don't survive. That's really the thing. You have to know how to pivot and adapt to what's happening. So when restaurants were closing left and right, you know, I remember everything was shut down. You couldn't come outside. And I watched the news one day, and you know, they said restaurants that are deemed essential are carryouts. And a light bulb went off in my head. I said, I'm a carryout. All of my restaurants are carryouts. The only one I've had that wasn't a carryout was the Fixed Bistro. So I immediately called Legacy Village and said, hey, I'm opening tomorrow. They said, no, you can't. I said, here's the article. Here's what the Cleveland said. And we, for 2 months, were the only business open in Legacy Village. And we exploded. like because you couldn't go out.
Yeah.
We were a carry out. So we took all our tables out and pushed them in the back of the store and got on DoorDash and did all that stuff. And our business went up 20% during the pandemic. It was a grind again, but we were happy because our staff was able to keep their jobs.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, we were able to get raises because we were flourishing.
Yeah.
And we were able to expand our territory and our business, and a lot more people got to know who we are because we were one of the few businesses that were still open during the pandemic. So, of course, rising costs and things of that nature, you know, that affected a lot. But I tell people all the time, restaurants are still going through the pandemic, even to the day. Even last week, there's still a struggle. And what's now happening is employment. You know, everybody's struggling with employment, but restaurants are being hit the most because during the pandemic, people were allowed to basically stop their lives and really focus on how can I make money without going out to work for somebody. And there's hundreds of ways you can get on the computer and make money. So that's where your great service people are, you know. But now we're feeling it because the workforce, those aspiring chefs that wanted to come work for us, or people that want to learn entrepreneurial, there's so many ways you can learn that now. So you're not looking to go to a small business to do it, you know, and put in that work and that grind. So we're still adapting to that. But again, the great thing about it is I'm a chef. And I tell people I'm 2 people, 3 people in one. So I can do multiple things, run a business, run a front of house, cook, and do all these things, and still be able to maintain my sanity because it'll drive you crazy too. Entrepreneurship, if you're not rooted mentally, it'll affect you because you got to prepare for the struggle. You're going to struggle. There's always going to be some struggle times, but it's going to be a lot of blessing time too if you stay committed.
Absolutely.
That is true. So what keeps you going when you are hitting those times where things are getting chaotic all around you? Where do you kind of center yourself, find that peace, and keep going?
I would say my faith. You know, I'm very God-fearing. I always believe God got my back. You know, so I always put that in my family. You know what I mean? My family has been a great inspiration in this journey. My sons, they work in the restaurant. My wife, she's by my side. You know, so it's a team thing. And we know we always got each other's back, and we know we have something great. And my grandparents always told me, if you're doing something for the community, God's going to bless it. And that's what we do in our restaurants. It's always giving back to the community. A lot of stuff that we do, as far as give back, we never post. We never get shine about it because I don't want that. I'm doing it for God. And He's going to continue to bless what we're doing. And that's why we've been mainstays in our community, is because we give back. We sow seeds. We make sure we take care of our community. We've launched all kind of give back efforts. You know what I mean? From feeding our seniors. We used to feed 1,000 seniors every day during the pandemic. It was so noticed that Western Reserve Area Agent gave us a contract to actually deliver foods to our inner city seniors that couldn't come out and couldn't go to the grocery store. And I don't know if you ever heard of Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels go back when my granny was getting food. Those was frozen TV dinners that not really good for your health. But we created a program where I was doing gourmet food, delivering it to them every single day. And that really changed, you know, my life. It changed a lot of people's lives because it offered employment for people that were struggling during the pandemic, but it also offered blessings to people that really needed that at that time because a lot of these seniors didn't have the support of their family. They couldn't come out because they were the highest rate high risk. So that was really a blessing, and that really opened some doors for us as well. So we just keep pushing, man, trying to push the envelope. And now we're strategy. We thinking now, what's the next move? What's the next franchise? What's the next model? What does that look like? And what are we gonna do next?
That's good stuff right there. And like I said, I love how you said, you know, because unfortunately we live in an age where people do stuff for, you know what I'm saying, for the clout, for the social media likes and all that good stuff. Well, I'm about to say, you saying you listen to anything great things, like you said, I'm an avid, you know what I'm saying. I love seeing when great things in the community. I didn't see anything about it. So, but I'm with you. I believe God blesses you. He can bless you as you bless others.
Well, I think my main reason, one, it goes back to me being an introvert, but again, my partner, you know what I mean? He's out there, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand, you know, what he does in the community is what I do in the community.
Okay.
So when he's posting it, he's basically speaking for the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're always involved in those things that he's doing to give back. So when he gets to shine in the light, I applaud and praise it because that's his calling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can be Batman or Superman or however you want to play that
role.
You know, I can do that because you know I know it's making an impact. I know it's changing lives. So the things that, you know, Larissa's doing, I fully support. And, you know, whatever we do to give back through the company, it's all for the good.
That's
you know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, I know he's doing it with the right heart. He's doing it for God. And at the end of the day, we're going to reap blessings from it. So,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Because I remember writing a statistic a little while back, and this is, I think, pre-pandemic, talking about restaurants as a whole. Like, restaurants are the hardest business to get off the ground. What do you feel like is the biggest misconception people have about having a restaurant business?
I think what all entrepreneurs should do, and when people walk up to me in the store and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this," I always ask key questions that you know you have to know getting into this, and that's, you know, do you know your business plan? Is it written? You know, do you have you done market research? Have you, you know, do you know numbers? Restaurants is the hardest thing to do in America.
Yeah.
The margins of profit are 15 to 20%, and that's if you're great. You know, so people don't understand that. And when I break this down to people, I say what that means is for every $1,000 you make, you're only going to take home $150.
Right.
And that's if you're paying yourself. If you're not paying yourself, oh my goodness, you're going to bump your head for a long time and figure out that. But a lot of people that start Black-owned small businesses and restaurants, they don't know that language.
Right.
They don't have that education. So I tell them, study and do this, because if you don't, you have to know that 30% of your profit is going to labor. 30% is going to food. You know, supply cost is 10%. Overhead is another 10. So that's 80 right there. So, and that's not including, you know, paying yourself. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't understand it, and they bump heads every week where they're trying to make ends meet, and it never aligns because you're not studying your numbers.
Right.
And then you have to be very meticulous. So I think while we've been able to survive for so long and why we've been successful is because I watch numbers, and Reese went into a field where he knows numbers as well.
Yeah.
So we're strategically, we know that we never can really fail unless we let it fail.
Right. I'm sorry. I might stop talking the episode.
So at the end of the day, that's why we're always strategic in what we do, because we know our costs, we know our numbers, we know our margins. Even to this day, a lot of people, I'll get comments or other entrepreneurs will say, "Man, how can you sell that sandwich for $7? You're not making no money." And what they don't understand is, you know, we're popular. You know what I mean? So we've been blessed with popularity through social media. We don't do any outside marketing, except for if a blogger comes in or anything like that. We've been blessed. But I can sell that sandwich for $7 because I want you to come and enter my door. It's up to my staff after that to say, "Can I get you fries? Can I get you a dessert? Can I get you a drink to push that?"
I hit that one time. The art of upselling, you don't understand that. Okay.
Especially in Cleveland. Cleveland is filled with impulse buying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go in there somewhere and be like, "I don't need that. Give me that glass of wine. Give me that one too."
Right.
And our food is so good, so people actually come in. They'll get the special. Just like last week. Last week was Burger Week. You know, we sold over 600 burgers, like 600, like over 300 pounds of beef. But they didn't. I worked all week because it was so busy. But everyone ordered a burger, stoner fries. A burger, give me fries and a drink with that. So they didn't come and spend $7.
Right.
The average ticket was like 15 to 20, and strategically, you have to give to get in this industry. So, you know, while I know I'm losing on my special of the day, I'm banking that we taught our staff good enough to say, okay, don't just let them come in there for a $7 sandwich. And most people don't go somewhere for a $7 sandwich.
Right. You never lie about that.
You're going to get something else. So that's just another instance of me just adapting and pivoting during the pandemic. You know, at one point we had to raise our prices. At one point we lowered our prices because, you know, if the market, I don't cheat people, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I always want to make my number, but I always want to make sure that the business can survive off of that number as well. So we've done a great job of doing that and educating ourselves on, you know, the do's and don'ts of what you do in this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you because, like, I know, you know, real estate agents, when we do a comparison of houses, we look around like for a house in the area, right? We'll look at what this house went for, you know, stuff like that, right? You guys in the restaurant industry do the same thing. Like you said, you see, let's say you see someone do a sandwich of that same caliber, not the same, but will you see them doing it at a higher price and be like, okay, maybe we can lower it at this price or whatnot? You like, I got you,
because I'm like a walking computer. I know my numbers, so when I put a dish and compose a dish, I already know how much it costs me.
Wow.
You know, I know all of my ingredients. I know them by ounces. All of my ingredients are specced out, so I know how much an OMG Philly costs me.
Yeah.
I know how much everything on my menu costs me. So if I'm selling it, if my OMG Philly costs me $2.50 and I'm selling it for $7, I'm still making a profit.
Right,
you know what I mean? But it's not just covering all those other things. But one thing I tell other entrepreneurs and cooks, percentages trump cost. You know, if you're selling 200 of this product, at some point the cost really don't matter anymore. Because you're selling so much of volume.
You're dropping gems a day.
So at Black Box, people come for certain things. We're known for our OMG Phillies and our stoner fries. That's 60% of our sales.
Yeah.
So I can sell a railroader burger at $7 because I know people are really coming for the things that they know what's they fix. And that's why we have a great name. You know, it's a fix. Like when you taste our food, it's just like, oh my God, I've never tasted this before.
Right.
I'm coming back for this. But we try to get people to try other things, but people know what they like. That's how I am too. I go to a restaurant and I won't deviate from what I like.
I'm the same way. Same.
It's hard to get me to try something else. No, I know what I know. So I think my creative side has really put us or separated us from a lot of places that you can compare us to because I'm a chef. You know, a lot of places have entrepreneurs or business owners and they just have cooks working for them. I'm a real chef. Like I can create any genre of food, you know, but I know my niche. My niche at Black Box is sandwiches, you know, things that are creative, flavorful, but really unique. And you really can't find, you know, my food anywhere else because we make our own seasonings. We make all of our sauces from scratch. Nothing, I would say 70% of what we do is done from scratch.
Wow.
You know, we don't use a lot of store-bought sauces. Every flavor that you taste in Black Box has our Creole seasoning, which I make my own Creole seasoning. Getting ready to start bottling that too.
Okay, that's what's up.
I still make my granny's barbecue sauce. Everything I tweak is I add agave in it. So it's really unique flavors that when you taste these, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, that I know that fixed flavor. You know what I mean? So, and I just stay true to what I love, my passion, and just being creative and not cheating the customers. When you come, every sandwich, everything is made to order. And one of our knocks is, you know, on our busy days, you're going to wait an hour for your food. But we have to tell people, we're making your food to order every single time. And we make thousands and thousands of orders on any given day. So it's a lot of food being prepped, a lot of food being cooked hand to hand, but it's the right way to do it. You know what I mean? When you're going to pay $22 for seafood fries, you have to use top quality ingredients. And that's what we do. We don't cheat ourselves, and we don't cheat our customers either. We make sure that we're giving them quality, and it's done right, it's prepared right. You can go into a lot of back of the houses and see some nasty stuff.
Oh, listen. we're not going to speak about that and whatnot.
You can definitely see some nasty stuff, but the proof is in the pudding. You can come into any of my kitchens, and they're going to always be pristine. They're always going to be clean. And you can go to Cuyahoga Board of Health and look at all of our reports. You can look at anybody's reports, but if you look at ours, we're gonna always be stellar. We have very few violations when you come in, because I do things the right way, the way my parents taught me, the way my grandparents taught me, do things with excellence. If you're gonna do it right. And that's how I do it, and that fosters down to my staff. You know, a lot of my staff, they say they go home, they start cleaning, they tell their wives heard, and like it's really this attitude of being excellent in what you do. I teach that to my kids, like, don't half step. When you do something, you do it with your full mic, and that just fosters to everybody in my business, everybody that used to work for me. They follow these traits because it's just something that I won't tolerate something less than excellence. I've hired a lot of people, but I fired a lot of people as well. Because if you can be at this standard of excellence, I just really don't. I don't want you to be a part of this team. You gotta stay at a high level to be relevant. And that's the one thing about Cleveland. It's a fickle city. You know what I mean? You can open one summer, be hot, and be cold the next. You know, but for Black Box to stay around as long as it has,
and be a staple though.
It's really, and that's what I take honor in, is when people tell me you guys are a staple. When people in Cleveland, you know, you see a list of places to go when you come, we're one of those. Whether we're black, white, it don't matter. We're at the top of that list, and I take honor in that, because we get a lot of people that come in and they say, hey, you know, we here because somebody told us to be on. We saw that blog or we saw that post, and I say we're gonna take care of you, you know, and it's indicative of our 4.4 star rating. I mean, it's very hard to have a 4.4 star rating. I mean, we got some bad ones out there, and some are warranted, some aren't. You know, but at the end of the day, we work hard to give a great customer experience and a great culinary experience as well. So
that's good stuff. I just want to point out something that during the interview that I've heard you say, and it's evident, is the culture you cultivated at your business also. Like you said, your staff understands, like you said, high quality standards that we're going to give the customer, you know what I'm saying, an experience every time they come in. I love that. I don't think enough entrepreneurs figure that in. Like you said, business plan is one thing, but understand the culture that you want. If you're going to have staff, you're going to have people who work underneath you. Having that culture is something you got to understand and cultivate too.
That's one of my sayings. Culture kills concepts.
That's the title right there.
If you don't have a good culture, it's all a matter of time for your demise. You have to set that culture. You have to. Can't be an absentee owner. It's really not a trustworthy business. You really can't. You have to watch staff. I mean, staff are humans, and humans make errors. You know, and when you want something that's, you know, excellent, you have to be engaged. You have to be there to see excellence, you know, and that's part of being there. And I've had some concepts that has went down because my lack of presence, you know, and I take responsibility. As a leader, you know, you always take the blame. I've mentored and taught, you know, people in key positions that at the end of the day, you always take the blame because it's your fault. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never hear me point the blame or say it's your fault. It's my fault. It's my fault because I wasn't doing what I was to do to put you in the right wheels for success. So I always take ownership and I always take, you know, the blame. And when we do have successes, I'm not the one to say, hey, that's me. Like, this is us.
That's
you
good
know
right there.
And you got to do that when you're trying to get the best out of people, because, you know, people can smell real and they can smell fake, but they can smell, you know, when your heart is in it. And we've helped numerous people along our journey as far as staff, really crossing the line of what a boss should do to go out and help. But that's just the way I was raised. I was raised to always make sure that you look out for your brothers and sisters, and if people's helping you, you got to help them. And we've done that along this journey. Larice, he's the same way. I think that's why we click so much, because, you know, it's really not about money for us. We never ever talk about money ever. We never talk about money. We very seldom celebrate successes. We're so busy, but we say that if we apply ourselves to excellence in our business every single day, money's going to come. And that's just happened for us, you know.
That's good.
And it continues to happen. we can go as far as we want, but I think me and him learned, and my wife, she's one of those that say, hey, slow down. You just one person.
Yeah.
I know you want to take over the world one day at a time, but you got to really just sit back and say, all right, what is God saying?
Right.
And I think that's one of my things I've learned over this journey too, is be patient and wait. I get a lot of solicitation. Come to Charlotte, come to ATL, come to do this. It's just like, nah, it's not time.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've had 5 restaurants at one time, running to the store for each one, and just burnt out. And I got a kid, a 9-year-old daughter. It's funny. Our story is like our kids were my second youngest. He's 13. He was 13 when we had Bella, so we kind of rebooted. We started over from scratch, and times had changed. Social media and all this stuff, and it was like, wow. So we're really trying to give her a life outside of the restaurant, because that wasn't the case for our boys. They were rooted into the in-restaurant, and they still can't get away with it. Get away from it. They love it. But she's going to be her own person. We're excited about that, but it's been a great journey. I will tell you that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. So I want to ask you about how you handle the pressure of it all, because I don't think enough people factor that in. We had a guest on the other day, Dan and Tia, and they were talking about consider the cost. And I don't think enough entrepreneurs understand that there are going to be pressures, and there are going to be times where it's going to be overwhelming. How do you handle the pressures of being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's a great question, and there is a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of stress. I think I've been blessed to again have family and my wife. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this for so long. She really is the pulse of the restaurants. When you come in and get the fixed experience, you're gonna get her. And she's a people person. I'm not. I tell her I can't do what you do, and you can't do what I do. So she really, takes the stress off of me, and she's always supportive, and she's always by my side. You know what I mean? Good. On my good days, my bad days. She knows me. You know what I mean? Yeah. There is a lot of pressure, but I think the planning that you have going into something every single day, you're planning something, and when you're prepared, it relieves the pressure.
I'm sorry.
I think, and that's for me. I'm a strategic planner. Every day is mapped out. I know what I'm going to do, and I know that I have to allocate time for bumps. It's always going to be a bump in the road every day. So I'm never late. You know what I mean? I'm always on time. I make sure that I'm 15 minutes early and I'm prepared. And I try to foster that into my sons as well, because it's easy to get lost in day-to-day operations or day-to-day life. Because there's always going to be something that happens. Somebody, going to flip you off, and you got to, you got to keep focused on just everything. So there's a lot of pressure, but I think me being such a great planner and prepared for my lifestyle, I don't deviate too much from what I do every single day. I know what I have to do, and I know what needs to be done to get accomplished to make everything go running smoothly. And that was even the case in Columbus when we had our journey there, from all the restaurants that we opened, and even today. Trying to manage success and a successful business, it takes strategic planning day in and day out. And it takes those conversations with me and Larice. We're always talking about growth, always talking about what we're going to do next. But it's those strategic planning meetings that say, okay, what's our capacity? What can we do here? Okay, where can we shine, or where we need to fall back on? So things of that nature. So I think there's always going to be pressure, but the planning that goes into what we do every single day as entrepreneurs, you got to be prepared for success.
You can't wing it all the time.
It won't work.
It won't work. No, I got you.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we talk about the past, talk about the present, let's talk about the future.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because y'all have already done great things, but we want to know what the future holds for you and all your endeavors.
Really focusing in on Legacy Village. and really taking that to the next level. And then also starting franchises. We really want to do that, but what we've learned, it's still an unstable market for brick and mortars. So we're getting ready to start franchising food trucks. You know, selling. The blessing about food trucks is that overhead is light.
I was about to say,
and you don't have to worry about too much staff. 3 people can only fit on that truck.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So, and if you're one of them, hey, that's the way to go. So, and it allows you to put yourself in many markets. You can be in Atlanta, you can be in North Carolina, Houston, and you can always pull up somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it's the profit margins are great, and I think you can further your reach that way.
That's good.
And it's an easier franchise model to invest in because that's a big thing. If someone wants to invest in a restaurant, a lot of people don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's how much it takes to start a successful business. So 50 to 75K, start a food truck. Small base menu. I'm always strategic in what I put out on menus for a concept like that. So I think that's our next goal. I want to get back into television again. I get reached out by producers for Food Network all the time, but my schedule doesn't fit that right now. But it's going to open up real soon.
Oh, there we go.
So you'll be seeing me on the Food Network coming up. I'm also talking with Larice. We're probably going to do our own podcast.
Come on now.
Giving back. He's very much into giving back to entrepreneurs and everything like that. So we got a lot of nuggets. Because of our backgrounds and what we do, me from the restaurant side, him from the accounting financial side and financial literacy. So I think you'll see that coming up. And we also want to get back into doing more classes. I'm going to be working with Tri-Seed, giving back to their culinary program. Time is never on my side, but I think now with me focusing more on being home and being back in Cleveland, I can open my books up to doing more things like that. And just giving back, that's where my main focus is, giving back, really just teaching people about the pros and cons, the do's and don'ts of this industry, and just telling them the real. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to keep it real with you, and I'm going to tell you, if you're making a bad choice, it's a bad choice. But I'm not going to say it from lack of experience. When I tell people about, the best thing I've learned over these years is wisdom. Wisdom is a great, valuable asset to have. But wisdom means you've been through something. Wisdom means you did something you weren't supposed to, or you bumped your head here, and you can tell the next person, don't do that, because I ain't telling you because I'm hating. I'm telling you because I did it. It didn't work, and trust me, I tried my all to do it. Right. And now I can look back on it and say, I would have did it this way. That's wisdom when you can pass that on. I love that I can pass that on to my sons or my staff or my wife or even Larice. Because Larice, he does a lot of things, and I'll be like, that's not a good idea, bro. This is why. And he's the same way with me. No, we share a lot of wisdom. That's good. And it's through experiences that we've had, and that's just a blessing to be able to give that back. I tell people all the time in talks, Cleveland is that city where the game is to be sold, not told. And I'm the opposite. Me and Louise are the opposite. We share nuggets and we share knowledge and all the time, and we don't ask for $1 in return.
God bless y'all, man.
We don't ask for $1 in return, and that's part of the maturity, but it's also part of the godliness in us. We want to see people blessed up like us. And we want to keep getting these blessings.
Absolutely.
You don't do that by being stingy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, God don't bless no folded hand.
Right, exactly. And I honestly, God blesses those who are blessing others or whatnot. So shout out to y'all, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah. So listen. And shout out to the Reese and y'all, man, because we want to support that when y'all do their podcast.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yeah, there y'all first guest.
Oh, okay. Oh, you heard it. Y'all
We appreciate that, man. For sure, man. I love what y'all doing.
No, listen. God is good, because like I said, we have great people like you, the Reese, you know what I'm saying, and so many entrepreneurs who came through the city. And like Cleveland, people dismiss Cleveland like we're not doing the big. We're doing the big out here with the entrepreneurs,
Yeah. Cleveland is up and coming. You got to. you know, there's not a lot of opportunities here, so you got to make them for yourself.
Absolutely.
If you make them for yourself, it's going to be a grind, man. Everybody's not built to be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? The strong survive, but, you know, we got a city full of hungry, young, energetic people that's trying to make a name for themselves. And I think, you know, you mentioned the word trailblazer. I think me and Larice has, you know, been at the top of those trailblazers to show people, you know, you can do it. You can do it. But we're a few of many. There's a lot of good people, female and male, that are really doing great positive things and really showing how to do it the right way. But they'll tell you the same stories, and I'm sure they have. It's a grind.
It's a grind.
You know, it's not gonna be easy. There is nothing easy about entrepreneurship, but it's worthwhile when you do it the right way and you see it turning your way, you know what I mean? And just network, get that knowledge, study your craft, and continue to, you know, have faith in yourself, faith in God, and faith in the process. It's always going to be a process. Like I said, I've only been doing this 12 years, and I'm still like growing. You know what I mean? I've done a lot, but I still got a lot more to do, a lot more to learn, a lot more to open, and continue to just be a blessing to this community and even new communities that I embark in outside of the state. And that's one of my journeys that I want to fulfill is, you know, doing things outside of Ohio. You know what I mean? God didn't give us Cleveland. He gave us the earth. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? So I know what we have and our brand, it can explode in other markets. You know, and that's no knock on Cleveland, but you know, sometimes you reach your pinnacle in things, you know, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, going outside of the box and going outside of the state and doing things. But Black Boxing Legacy, that's a mainstay. That's not going nowhere. That's going to always be a staple. That's going to always be something for the community. And it's going to always be in high regards and quality and what we do. That won't ever fall off as long as my name is on it, for sure.
So and then we talk about on camera, but I don't ask you on camera now. As y'all know, I ask the questions to every guest. I don't make a montage when I do. I don't make a montage of this one now because we have some great answers. But because you like you said, you had the opportunity to be outside of Cleveland, so you got a chance to have a unique perspective. You are born and raised in Cleveland, but you've been outside Cleveland. The question I'm gonna ask you is, so the stigma that we unfortunately have in the city, that we don't collaborate, we don't support, right? What do you feel like needs to happen for us to be able to break that stigma for our city?
Well, I think everybody just has to have the mindset of, you know, what's for me is for me, what's for you is for you. You know, and this is a city where there's millions and millions of dollars just being circulated, even in the Black community. You know, you doing things with integrity. You know, there's some great entrepreneurs doing that, and there's some that, you know, are doing their own thing. You know what I mean? So I think it just takes time and growth. You know what I mean? Collaboration is not always easy because everybody that's an entrepreneur, they feel their way is the right way. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
So it's hard to, you know, be in the book on what you stand tall on, you know? But I think it's headed in the right direction. You know, Larice is at the forefront of that. You know, he's trying to get people together, trying to get collaboration done. And I think you'll see more of that as people go through their own journey and their own experience. You know, when you starting out, it's not enough time in a day. You know what I mean? To focus on collaborating. But that's a big factor. But, you know, I think having events and having, you know, podcasts where you can go and tell your story and learn about what these people, a lot of people, you can just see them in GFS and you don't know their story. You just know their grind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the things that you guys are doing is really just spotlighting what an entrepreneur goes through in 24 hours. You know what I mean? And it's a lot, you know, and it's a lot just to keep your sanity. You know what I mean? It really is. It's a lot of pressure to stay grounded and stay committed because is the devil's real, the devil's busy, but at the same time, you know, I think just learning the little nuances of your industry or whatever you're trying to do, but also asking questions. A lot of people, you know, will see an entrepreneur that they follow or want to be like or want to grow like, and they'll just high and by. They won't ask those things. You know, so that's why I say I'm introverted, but I'm very approachable. And if somebody asks me something on IG, Facebook, or even in person, I'm never that person that won't answer that DM, answer that, always answer back. If I can pass it to him, I pass all the Reese number more than I should, you know. But I mean, he's the plug. You know what I mean? So when you the plug, you gotta get that. You know, but if I can answer the question or I can be a mentor, you know, I try my best to do that. And I have an open book policy with my staff and people that used to work for me. You know, I'm always gonna be a vessel. That's my job. That's my way of giving back and always making sure that people are taken care of. And just investing in that. So you got your Larissa, you got your Chef Eric Rodgers, you got your other people that are really doing their job. But I think gradually, as you know, people get more wisdom in their industry, they're gonna pass that on because you know I think that's where it should be and where people should go. But it's gonna take. It's going to take more time, and it's going to take more people to get engaged in it and want to see people successful. And that's one thing about Cleveland. Everybody's fighting for position, fighting for their business, fighting for relevancy, you know, and we got to understand that, you know, the hard work is going to pay off. You know, that stuff is going to come. You gotta work together. You gotta work together. So,
and shout out to y'all because once again, y'all are a perfect example of partnership collaboration at its finest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of partnerships don't work, and we've seen a lot come and go. You know, but like I said, me and Larice, we don't have those negative energy vibes. You know what I mean? We want to do for our family, we want to do for God, and we want to make sure that we're doing things with integrity. And we tell people all the time that you know, a lot of industries don't have that mindset of doing things with integrity. They just want to make money, you know. And if you do things with integrity, and the people they gonna know, you know what I mean? They're gonna know, and they're gonna appreciate the quality of your service and what you do because it's built on the right principles. And if you're doing that, you're gonna be successful. You know what I mean? It's still gonna be a long journey. It's gonna be long days. It's gonna be days when you be like, "Why am I doing this?" But you know, we feed off of each other. We feed off of, you know, our individual successes. We always applaud each other. You know, making sure that, you know, we give ourselves our roses. You know, and continuing to just be those pillars for each other. We need that. You know what I mean? We need pillars in our community, people that you can see doing positive things and positive lights, and doing it with integrity. And the proof is in the pudding. You know, we are who we are. We're not perfect, but we are who we are, and we do what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, I want to give y'all flowers, man. Cause like y'all, they say never interview or never get around your heroes. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. Like I have been blessed with this podcast to be able to interview great people like yourself, Larice. And it's great people doing things and have been an inspiration to me in my entrepreneurial journey. You know what I'm saying? Because I love hearing the podcast is born off of hearing these great stories and learning more about what y'all had to endure to get where y'all at, and just understanding the journey is not easy for anyone. You know. So thank y'all.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So this is my next question. So legacy. Okay. As everyone knows, I ask a legacy question because I know that we all know that no one is. Always they say life is so hard, no one makes out alive. Right? That's the realness of it all. So it means you're gonna but the thing you want to do is leave behind a legacy. Now, whether it's good or bad, it's to you, right? And the question I want to ask you is, what legacy you want to leave personally, and you want to leave professionally going forward?
Legacy, I would say personally, you know, I'm all about family. You know what I mean? I want to see my sons be successful in whatever they choose to be. My oldest son, he wants to be a chef like me, and my youngest, he's just a hustler like me. You know, he wants to get in real estate, he wants to get in fashion, he wants to do all these things. So, you know, I want to see them carry on the Black Box Fix name, but I also want to see, you know, other families, whether there's in this city or outside of this city, invest in a franchise and really invest in something that they can be blessed with, something that we created because we know it's genuine. and just making sure that my family's good. Larice teaches this, making sure your wheels are in place and making sure your kids is taken care of when you do leave this earth, so they can start their own legacy. But I stand tall on always teaching my kids, the Rodgers name means a lot. Never forget that when you out here in these streets or doing, your entrepreneur, because my kids ain't gonna work for nobody. They're entrepreneurs. I'm sorry. They don't have that in them. They're like, Dad ain't working for nobody. I'm working for myself. That's dope. I want them to know that, legacy is hard work and just standing tall on that Rodgers name, because that whole weight, and you got to make sure that you're doing it the right way. And then professionally, I just want, people to recognize what, we've meant to the community at the end of the day. Whether we're here or we move away, at the end of the day, we've done right by Cleveland. And we've done right by our community. We've invested in our community. And I want people to know that, at the end of the day, whenever I hang them up or whatnot, I was one of the greatest entrepreneurs to walk through the city. Come on. I stand tall on that because I know I've done it with the right heart, with the right mind, and really blood, sweat, and tears giving my life away. I tell people I give my life away every single day in my passion. My passion is my purpose, and I've lived it, I've done it, and sometimes done it for free. And there's been many a times where I was going, along my journey, business struggling, and I wasn't paying myself. So I was literally waking up, working open and close for free. And if that's not passion, I don't know what it is. Man, that's awesome passion, you ask me. That's on somebody paid off, though. Yeah, paid off, and it's a grind. You're going to have those days, but at the end of the day, if you stay focused and stay right with your soul and your mind, it's going to come. It's going to come. I promise you that. Right. No, that's good stuff right there. For sure. Okay. And you've been dropping gems on the right tonight. Thank you, man. And I like to market any good interview, any good podcast. There's a young woman watching right now, and what are 3 things you want me to take away from tonight's interview? Follow your dreams, follow your heart, trust God, and trust the moment. You know what I mean? People don't trust the moment. They just think, oh my God, woe is me. They try to forecast for the next week and next year. You got to believe in the moment and know that if you put your all in it right here, right now, it's going to take care of those days ahead. And I've lived off that. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. I just stay even keel, and just really just put my life into the work and make sure that I'm doing it with the highest integrity and love and passion. Like, if you get into entrepreneurship and it's not your passion, you're not going to be successful. You're not. It has to be your passion. That's good. Like, that was the reason I left UH. I worked for 20 years for different businesses that I had no passion for. I was lifeless, and when I went and started doing my journey as a chef, I'm full of life every day. I love what I do. I never, ever feel like I'm working. I work hard. Like, we're going to start doing videos of how our services go, front of the house and back of the house. And when you see these, it's going to be, it's insanity. You see 18 tickets with 7 different things on them, and you have to make those in 45 minutes. That's insanity. That is insanity. You're explaining it sounds insane to me. I can imagine. And that's only one wave. And imagine doing that for 9 hours straight. And we're busy from the time we open to the time we close. But I never bust a sweat. And my staff, they look at me like, this dude is so robotic and mechanical. And I move seamless because I've done this for so long now. I see things. It's called being in the zone. I see things before they happen. I know what to say. I know what to do. And everything, my staff love working with me. And when I'm gone, they be like, why is Chef not here? Because it's different. But I walk in passion and I work in passion. So when you do that, most people that go to jobs, it's not their passion. You know what I mean? They going because they need that check to supply and make ends meet. I don't do that. I work every single day in my passion, and I love what I do. I love making food. I love making sandwiches. I make all kind of food, but when I'm doing it, you know, I do it with love and passion. It always takes me back to when I watched my grandmother. You know, she wasn't making a lot of money, but she did it because of love.
Yeah.
She did it because she loved making people smile because of her food, and that's what I like doing. You eat my food, and I see you smiling, or I see you commenting, or reposting or something like that. I know you taste my love and my passion, and that makes me happy. So that's me.
And I got to consider this question, but I gotta ask. So when you get home, do you feel like when you get home, you're like, no, I'm good.
That's why I know I'm gonna go and shop, because I literally we'll have leftover, we'll have something, and I can create a gourmet dish out of anything. I could probably create a gourmet dish out of that fridge right there. Like, and I'm literally, no lie.
That's wild.
I can take leftovers, frozen food, whatever it is, and I really can just take something from nothing. And that's why Black Box Fix is so intriguing.
Yeah.
Is because I go into my kitchen every day and I work with the same ingredients, but I always make something new. Because there's endless opportunities. You just got to be creative. You know? So when you come in, if you go on my page, you're gonna see hundreds of different dishes. But it's just me walking in every day and saying, what do I feel like doing today? What crazy thing could I come up with? And some they always are good, but some are ones that those are going on the menu.
Yeah.
Like we just did a very famous blogger, Stephen Johnson. He came and tried what I call this. He goes by the name Snack Daddy. So I created this Snack Daddy catfish, where I took a catfish and coated it in spicy Doritos. And it's really, really good. I'm putting it on the menu. The menu coming out in 2 weeks. So I just do stuff that you wouldn't normally think of doing, and I just make good food out of it. You know what I mean?
No, that's good stuff.
Listen, I like making people hungry.
This has been an honor, really it has. Like I said, because this has been a long time coming. So once again, y'all don't know this, but when we started this podcast, we really said we want to send people on, and Chef was always one we wanted to have on. So this is a dream come true for us at the podcast. So thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
And so part 2, you know what I'm saying? Part 2, come to the Black Box Fix. We can try to snack daddy one time.
Right. Yeah, you come up there, get that snack daddy. We got a whole list of other good things that we're coming out, but you really can't go wrong with nothing on our menu, and that's what people love. We don't have one that we like, I'm not gonna try that again. This is like, I'm gonna get this again.
Right.
I'm gonna get that again. But we're really known for our goodies and really pushing the button, pushing the envelope on what you can do with simple food. Simple food, simple ingredients, nothing. I stay in my lane. I don't go try to go French. I don't try to go. I could, but I just stay in my lane. I make great sandwiches and great street food. Food that you could just come and know that you're gonna eat good, you're gonna sleep good after.
Right. Get the itis.
You're gonna get the itis. That's for sure, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So lastly, I feel like the most important question: where can people reach you? Where I know we got Legacy Village location, we got a Columbus location, but where can people reach you, find out more about you, all that good stuff?
Blackboxfix.com, IG Blackboxfix, or Chef Eric Rodgers. Every day you're gonna see something new, fresh, out of the box. We post inspirational stuff. My page is God Family Food. That's all I do. That's all you're gonna see is something inspirational. You're gonna see a couple pics of the family, and you're gonna see food. And then Black Box Fix, we just gonna hit you with all kind of different specials, great menu selections, and what's new and what's fresh. And we've been getting a lot of blessings from a lot of great food bloggers lately. Food bloggers have really been hitting us up and really taking us to a new plateau. We probably gained over 10K followers in the last 2 months. That's one of those blessing of our reach, and people just trying to see what we're about. People love a good story, but they also love good food, and people will talk about food. So
that's real.
When they come, we get new customers all the time, and when they do come, they enjoy it, but they spread the word for us, and that's our marketing right there. Is just word of mouth, really.
That's good stuff right there.
Yes, sir.
So, by the way, y'all, I have all that information. Y'all gotta go searching so y'all can reach Chef Eric Rodgers, y'all. Like I said, this has been a good episode.
This has been truly a blessing.
It really has, absolutely. And then now they say we gotta pay some bills, right? So, guys, listen. September 23rd, 2U Wines is having the very first Black Beer and Wine Festival at Kane Park. If you are a vendor looking to participate, please reach out to 2U Wines. and get your tickets because it's going to be festivities, it's going to be music, it's going to be a wellness check, and it's going to be a great time. Think about it being the cookout you're invited to. We'll be there. We'll be interviewing people. It'll be a great time. So please get your tickets and support this amazing wine company. I know we're biased because, TU Wines gang, but it's also one of the best wines in the city. Like I said, get your tickets September 23rd. Please do that. Brittany, she's sorry. It's coming, y'all.
Beauty told.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to spend my baby. I've been working on this day and night, and August 6th. So if you guys don't already follow me, follow me. We're going to have that in the show notes as well.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see y'all show up, and let's have a good time.
Absolutely. And y'all support us. Y'all support Brittany, okay? Because she been helping us out here at the podcast. Like, the podcast might have been done if it wasn't Brittany, so I want to give her flowers too. So yes. Yes, good stuff. Guys, I want to thank you. You the person watching this. I looked at today. I think we're at 6,600 subscribers. Y'all just keep subscribing. Y'all do y'all thing. I thank y'all. Y'all let us know. Seeing great people like Chef Eric Rodgers is driving these numbers, and I thank y'all. Y'all make this worthwhile. Y'all drive me to continue doing this, and it's a good thing. So God is good. So we want to thank you. You the person watching, and you the person listening. So thank you. This has been episode 146, guys. Listen, until next week, y'all. Y'all stay safe. We'll see y'all. Peace.